Good evening, gentlemen. It's Mr. Hill with another video, another follow up to the happy and sad demo, happy or sad demo. So, I had a good question from Howard this week, and he sent me a message asking me about the condition in the Instagram assignment that had to do with 255 characters or less. And so I thought I'd address that using the happy or sad assignment. So if we have a look at the happy or sad assignment, you can see that one of the input specifications is that the string has to be between 1 and 255 characters. Okay, so this is the way that we can kind of do this for our happy or sad. Okay, so I'm going to follow up. We did this last time. This is where we left it off. And so once we've read in our text message, one of the things we can do is use the length function. Okay, so the length function, we can actually grab the length of text message. Okay, now just to see what that looks like, I'm going to print it. And so I'll print it. You can get a sense of what that looks like, and I'll test it, and you can see what that looks like. Okay, so here is an example. And maybe we can throw in a smiley face. We'll throw in a proper smiley face. Okay, so this here now we've printed here the length of the text message. So it's saying that it's 35 characters. Okay, and then we broke up, and there's one happy face, and so to use that as part of our input stipulations, we can first we need to read in that text message. Okay, but some of the error handling that we've done already this year. We've looked at how to handle some strings. Okay, so using a while loop is a great way to make sure that we can keep asking a question for a proper text message as long as it's within our certain conditions. Okay, so I'm going to go back up here, and what I'd like to do is I want to store that value. So I'm going to call this message length. Okay, and I'm going to set message length equal to the length. Control C, the length of the text message. Okay, so now the length of message length is equal to the length of the text message, which is in this case is 35 characters. Now, while the message length, okay, we can use that in here, right, is greater than, let's see, it looked like, I'm just going to head back here, so it said that has to be between 1 and 255, okay, so let's make sure that we meet that criteria. So while the message length is less than 1, or message length is greater than 255. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask again. Right? If it doesn't meet our criteria, well, I'm going to ask for another text message, and I'm just going to put some more specific information. Enter a message that contains between 1 and 255 characters. Okay, and then once that text message has been inputted, I'm going to update my message length. Okay, and I'm just going to copy that in here. Right, so now what this will enable us to do is, we're going to ask for a message length. Okay, we're going to ask for a text message, or we're going to get a text message. We're going to check the message length, And if it's within our criteria, or if it's not within our criteria, it's going to ask again. Okay, so let's test it out. Okay, so here is an example. Okay, right, so this is 19, here's an example, and it continues through. Okay, so one of the stipulations that we can also test is a message of length 0, right? Because it has to be greater than 1. Okay, greater than or equal to 1. So let's test out that 0 length. So I'm just going to hit enter, and it'll say, hey, whoa, this message has to contain between 1 and 255 characters. So it's going to ask again for that message. Okay, so here I'm going to test a really super long message. Okay, this is going to, okay, let's see, hopefully it's longer than 255 characters. That's just a guess. Enter a message between, right, 1 and 255 characters. Right, and once again we can start. So here is a proper example. Okay, and we're gonna put a happy face. Let's put a happy face and a sad face, and maybe another sad face. Okay, my typing is terrible. Okay, hit enter, and then our program works. Okay, so we have one happy face, right, 2 sad faces, and there we go. Okay, so keep asking your questions, and notice that, even though this is for happy or sad, right, it definitely applies to the Instagram assignment, and we do some nice nice quality control here for our input, and great ways to kind of prevent those errors that users might create when they enter their input. Okay, so I hope that helps, and keep plugging away, and keep sending me your questions, because I can use your questions to help focus my videos. Okay, hope you're having a great Easter. Stay safe. Until next time, this is Mr. Hill.